Metagross, the Mon god of steel, earth, and team fights. My name is King Pokemaniac, and I play competitive Pokemon Unite at the tournament scene and at the highest levels of Master Rank. Today, we are looking at a Metagross deep dive analysis. If you would like to see the complete deep dive, I regularly stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I usually do more deep dive analyses like this, analyses. So if you would like to check out that, there will be links down below in the description. Let's talk about Metagross. Everything he has scales off of the attack stat. Your power spike levels will happen from levels 4 into 5, levels 6 into 7, levels 8 into 9, 10 into 11, and 12 into 13. Respectively. Every other level after 5 will be a big hit for Metagross. Level 5, you go from Beldum to Metang. At level 7, your tenacity stat is its maximum for the rest of the game at 19.98%. Level 9, Metang goes to Metagross and full Pokemon. Of course, you unlock your Unite move. At levels 11 and 13, your moves will increase to their plus versions respectively. Beldum, you are weak. Very weak. Easily killable, one could even say. That's not to say that Beldum doesn't still have hands. At least he is a hand. But you can still work with this hand. However, your goal needs to be prioritizing hitting level 5 as soon as possible. Cannot stress that enough. By 8 minutes and 30 seconds on the timer, you need to have become a Metang. By 7 minutes, or at least within a few seconds of the first Reggie spawn, you need to be a Metagross. If you don't get it right away, don't feel bad. It can take practice, it can take time, and it can take getting comfortable with the character to get there. You can achieve both of these goals by either entering center path or going into lane path. I will say it is often easier to do in center path because there is more readily uncontested EXP available, but it isn't beyond the capabilities of a lane Metagross to also achieve those timestamps. In a 5-stack team, you should always be putting levels on your Metagross as the priority. Giving twin bunnies for them, giving them Boltoids from center, or whatever you can do to help your team's Metagross come online faster than the opponents are expecting it. In the early game, you want to use Tackle primarily as a maneuvering tool in your kit. It deals very little damage to almost nothing at all. I think it might actually be weaker than a basic attack. Pitiful damage. Long range jump to skill shot. If you can land it, then you can use it to maneuver around the map and through your path lane at a speed to which your enemies can just not keep up. Iron Defense can give you a critical shield in a life or death situation, but it is a much stronger tool when used as a follow-up for a boosted basic attack. After you land a boosted basic attack with Beldum, you can immediately charge a second boosted basic attack that has bonus damage on top of it from the Iron Defense shield. When compared to Meteor Mash, Gyro Ball gives you 3 shield stacks per just one hit in the sweet zone of its attack area. Meteor Mash can give you up to 4 stacks of a shield. The stacks per shield scale smaller percent from your attack than the stacks per shield from Gyro Ball. And when you add up all of the maximum stacks, 6 stacks for Gyro Ball, 8 for Meteor Mash, Gyro Ball is still giving you a bigger shield at the end. It is more spread out and less concentrated damage, so it's not as effective in a full 5v5 team fight, which is kind of the bread and butter of a Metagross. If you found this information useful or you're liking the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notify bell so you know when I release next analysis. Thank you so much for the view. We're gonna hop right back into this Metagross breakdown. Another thing to consider, Gyro Ball, if you are behind, your backs are against the wall, Gyro Ball can scale you back into the mid and late game a lot better than Meteor Mash can. Consistently, you're going to be choosing Magnet Rise over Zen Headbutt. This is because Zen Headbutt, like Tackle, is a long-range skill shot. Gonna miss sometimes, and it only targets one opponent. Whereas Magnet Rise, rush into a team fight, escape team fights, doesn't require you to hit a target, and can just more consistently be used throughout every point of the game. However, it does not scale as high as Zen Headbutt. So Zen Headbutt is still dealing more damage per attack, and it has a higher knockup and a longer range rundown, because if you do hit your target, you will catch them almost every single time. The biggest thing to watch out here for this Unite is the Umbreon counterpick. Umbreon will steal this entire shield. If you Unite 3 full shield stacks, gain a massive shield, lock everybody in, then Umbreon, even from outside of the wall of your Unite, comes in and just unites. He will hop over the wall while uniting, and then can land inside your base, stealing the full shield from you, hit you with something like Foul Play to Disrupt, or something that Metagross just does not want. So that's the number one thing I would say to look out for with this Unite. When you're using the Unite itself, what you want to look for, those team fights to the 2-minute mark of the Ray fight, because you're always going to want to prioritize having your Unite for that final 5v5 Ray fight. Everything about Metagross's kit screams 5v5 fight. That's how you should be thinking about it when you're playing this character, when you're playing against this character, and when you're drafting for this character, or you're trying to counter draft against this character. Metagross wants to take the fight to the Ray Pit in a full 5v5 trainer on trainer, hold nothing back fight. If you first pick Metagross in a draft, you've exposed your entire team's plan. When it comes to drafting, you should usually try to prioritize grabbing your main source of control that doesn't expose too much. So Slowbro or Crustle or a Defender or Trevenant. Sometimes it's also a support character. Typically your first 2 picks are going to be tank and a support of some kind. Don't overextend and expose your hand. Now try to take Metagross at that 3rd or 4th, giving you at least about 1 or so counter pick slots for the last few choices of the opponent, who, if they're good opponents, will be drafting in response to your Metagross, somehow pivoting their idea to better play against Metagross. I would recommend running eject button. You could X speed or full heal and see some success with a build like that, but eject button is just really good. Don't have many other comments. In 5s, you could get away with running and organizing like an X attack. That would require a lot of like high coordination between you and your teammates so that your formations are very tight and waterproof. Potion is quite honestly just a crutch for learning a new character, but eventually you want to move away from that. The Ninja Doll literally takes you out of the team fight and roots you in place. Big no. It's probably the worst item you could run on Metagross. My held items, I'm going to recommend almost always stacking with this Pokemon because of how his early game plays with tackle. Find that stacking and leaving camps up, trying to only hold 2 or 4 points at a time before putting your next stack in, kind of push that up to 9 or 12 points, but you might have some trouble putting that stack in, and if you catch yourself off with too many points and you can't stack, then that's really going to put a hamper on your game, and it's going to cost your Metatang at 8 minutes 30 seconds. As you master Metagross, you should be looking to move towards doing some more stacking if you can. Metagross wants to snowball, he wants to get ahead, to be that Metagross, and you need to fulfill that dream for Beldum. The next item I would recommend is weakness policy. Every build of Metagross I've seen with success has weakness policy. It just fits too well into everything else that his passive and abilities are doing that I couldn't recommend it enough. Put on a crit claw, because that's going to give you early game crit. Normally wouldn't have until level 5. With a crit claw from the start of the match, you will be able to have a chance to crit the opponent. Claw kind of functions a little bit like a permanent red buff on your character. It can help you get away from some dicey situations, get slowed. That gives you the difference to put space between you and them to then tackle back to your safety camp. Claw, weakness policy, stack weight is just my personal recommendation right now. If you are looking to experiment outside of that, then I would highly recommend hanging on to the weakness policy at the very least. Obviously, in the course of this curated video, I couldn't say everything I wanted to about every single detail of Metagross, about the time duration of the video going well into the hours mark. If you are interested in seeing my full breakdown and complete opinion about every facet detail, as well as multiple example games with different build sets, trying out my ideas and thoughts after reading through everything to do with the character, then please do me a solid and check out my full coverage, uncut stream video of my Metagross analysis for a lot more in-depth information. I've been King Pokemaniac. You've been an awesome Pokemaniac trainer, and I can't wait to see all of your new Metagross skills taken to the field after watching this video. If there's something you found useful or helpful, please let me know in the comments below. It helps me improve the quality of these videos. If I missed something you think that really needs to be said about Metagross, say it. Let me know in the comments. I will be sure to take that into account if I ever revise the analysis. This being a live service game and a MOBA, most likely will eventually down the line happen, as the character will inevitably be changed at some point. Anyways, stay healthy, stay happy, my friends, and keep the Pokemania rolling, trainers. I'll catch you in the next one.